Hello, hello. Welcome to A Novel Console, your weekly podcast where we talk about books, games, food, and stuff that caught our attention during the week. My name is Chris, and with me is the birthday girl, Karen. Yeah. Happy birthday to you.
Sing in Spanish.
I forgot. Feliz cumpleaños, Pati. Feliz cumpleaños, Pat. I don't think that's
Back
right.
to English.
It's your birthday.
It is my birthday.
How are you feeling?
Old.
Me too. Me too.
It sucks.
But hey, guess what?
What?
It's episode 11.
It is.
And we finally have the Patreon winners. After talking about it for weeks and postponing it last week, we have our two winners.
But now it was at least like a more even playing field because we invited everybody to like the Facebook page that we finally set up.
Yes, which is...
And then we got more patrons.
Facebook.com/anovelconsole, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yes. And we have our winners. Would you mind telling us who are the winners and who won what?
So Victor won the video game.
Tony Hawk 1
Pro
+ 2.
Skater, yeah, that thing. And Vilma won the book.
Yes.
Anxious People.
Anxious People.
So we will contact you via Patreon and get your information to send those to you.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Vilma.
Why?
She has to take all those people with her home. All those anxious people.
They're really funny people.
Aren't you?
It is very serious, but it's also quite hilarious.
Aren't you glad that we gave away that damn book already and I'll stop making that stupid joke?
Yeah, I'm sick of it.
Me too. I'm so entertained by it. I'm an idiot.
That's okay.
And we have already our games for next month. These are going to be the October games that we game and book that we talk about.
I was about to say, it's not games.
So, because I really, really enjoyed this fucking game more than I thought that I would, and it made me feel the spirit of Halloween, I am personally giving away Medieval for the PS4. And if it's on Xbox One, which I don't think it is, I'll maybe give it on that. Oh, never mind. PS4 or whatever console it's on. Medieval. And what are you giving away?
Ninth House by Lee Bardugo.
Perfect. So, just make sure that you sign up to our Patreon, patreon.com/anovelconsole, and we will get you into
the pool.
The giveaway for next month.
It's only $2 a month.
Well, for this month. And that we're going to be announcing next month.
Yes.
This is kind of like throwing me off a little bit.
We're giving away
timeline.
our favorites from the month prior. Because we want to get through the whole month to figure out what the favorite is.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I was making my list of games that I want to play for this month.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was making it, I was like, okay, so I got my 4 games for this month. And then I look at the calendar to select what days I'm going to play. I'm going to talk about what. And I noticed that we already talked about Pikmin on the first day of this month. Well, on the first Friday of this month.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have 3 slots. And then I was looking and then I was like, shit, I can't talk about any of these games because these games are impossible to find. Or they are more than $200. I am not.
Sorry, we can't give away a game that expensive. No.
So I'm going to have to make some changes to it and change my plan, which I think I have a pretty good plan right now. If I stick to it, somebody's going to hate me.
That's okay.
That's fine.
I'll still love you.
I hate myself anyways. So. But yeah, you know who doesn't hate us?
A random listener.
I know, a random listener from France. So we've had this one listener from France listen to every episode since episode 3.
Which is quite a lot.
I know. That's, what's 10 minus 2? 8. So they've listened to 8 episodes, and we have no idea who the hell they are. I don't know if they follow us on any of our socials, or if they are a patron, or
Please
whatever.
tell us who you are.
Yes, just email us at anovelconsole@gmail.com. Just
or
say
message
hello.
us on Instagram or Twitter, somewhere, anywhere. Just
Facebook,
please tell us who you are.
Anywhere.
We're so intrigued.
Yeah, we want to know who you are. And we also have a listener from Brazil, and I think we had one from El Salvador this week.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's crazy. We're like being listened to from different places.
I thought all of our listens would be in South Georgia and Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Our families.
Maybe some Florida. But no, what people are listening to in different places. And what you do this week?
This week, I made you move my bookshelves and mount them to the wall in our bedroom. So now every morning when I wake up, I get to look at the beauty that is my bookshelves. But man, they were a fucking bitch to move.
Mm-hmm.
The books were more of a bitch to move than the shelves. I have too many books.
And we're trying to give it to you, beautiful people. Just please
give away the anxious books to the beautiful people.
Please just take our books. All of these books that Karen has. She doesn't need them. Just pay $2 a month. We'll send books your way.
Oh gosh. I decided to reorganize them as I moved them because I had them kind of organized. There wasn't a real method to it.
No, didn't you do them by color for a while?
I did them in the rainbow for a while, and that drove me nuts because I didn't know where the fuck anything was. And it was really pretty though. But then this time I organized them by books that I'd read and like what was my favorite, and then went down to books that I haven't read yet. I also didn't know where the fuck anything was. So now we're back to the good old alphabetical order by author's last name.
That's a good idea.
Yes.
You know what's creepy?
What?
So I used to tell whoever stayed here in the guest room or the game room or the library, whatever you want to call it. They would sleep in the air mattress or in the couch or whatever, and when they would wake up the other day, I would be like, so how did it feel being looked at by so many Funko Puffs while you slept? And they always said it was kind of creepy. It is kind of creepy.
Really? It doesn't bother me at all. Is it really creepy to you?
It's especially creepy now after what happened yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
Didn't I tell you I woke up at 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
So I woke up at 3 a.m. because I heard somebody knocking on something. And I got out of bed, checked the whole apartment. There was nothing out here. But the one thing that really did creep me out was that the computer was on. And I had turned off this computer specifically after we recorded Saturday's Patreon release.
I realized that it was on before we went to bed because I noticed it like light up and I saw it flash against the wall.
The thing is, I heard that knocking very clearly. Oh, and the most fucked up thing is that it was 3 a.m. What the fuck?
That's the witching hour.
Mm-hmm.
I did notice, maybe last night or the night before, that the Balrog like looks right down at you.
What's the Balrog? I am throwing that Balrog in the garbage when we're done recording.
It's a beloved Funko. All of my Lord of the Rings pups are precious to me. Precious.
I guess. So you say the Balrog is beloved?
Yeah, the Funko is.
You know what's not beloved?
What?
This list that ESPN made ranking the most stressful video games.
I feel stressed out just thinking about number one. Because it's a video game I actually play! Who'da thunk?
So apparently they got a group of scientists together to rate the most stressful video games by...
Like how high your heart rate is
while
playing
by
them.
measuring people's beats per minute, heart rates beat per minute while playing this game. And it says that Mario Kart is number one.
I believe it wholeheartedly.
At 85 beats per minute.
I mean, like, weren't you pumped when you were beating the pants off of Will? When you were a whole fucking lap ahead of him?
No.
Bitch thought he was gonna beat you? Nobody can beat my man at Mario Kart.
I wasn't pumped. I was barely trying.
I bet Will's beats per minute were higher than that.
He probably was. He was so pissed. And then they have FIFA 20 on the second spot with 84 beats per minute. I don't get it.
What is that?
FIFA soccer game.
You don't play sports games. I guess it makes sense for sports people.
I guess. I do watch the Packers when they play.
And you get really, really, really heated.
Yeah, some of the stuff that they call out is bullshit. And 3 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 at 83 beats per minute. But this is where it gets kind of fucking weird. Mm-hmm. They have Dark Souls 3 on number 4.
Praise the sun!
With 81 beats per minute.
Praise the sun! Isn't that kind of scary?
It's tense, and it's not really scary. It's just very difficult.
Wait! You know what's not on this list?
What?
Alien Isolation!
That's true. Because we have Fortnite on number 5 with 81, the same as Dark Souls.
I think they forgot about Alien Isolation.
And then they have Doom Eternal at number 6 with 80 beats per minute. And I'm going to tell you something. When Doom Eternal came out, it came out with Animal Crossing. And that was a perfect pairing because Doom Eternal stressed me the fuck out. And I am not one to get stressed playing video games. It stressed me so bad that I would get all tense when I would go into an arena and just start killing demons. And when I would finish the arena and come out, I would feel myself decompress physically. This game was fucking tense. And you're telling me that Mario Kart is more stressful than Doom Eternal? And then the list goes on with Fall Guys, Battlefield 5, Street Fighter, and Among Us.
We gotta play Among Us.
We do, but...
We gotta play it with Marla.
We should. We should. But
Marla and Matt versus Chris and Karen.
That's not how it works.
Oh.
I'll show you later how it works.
Okay.
My thing is...
Orange is ejected.
He is not accepting blue.
We're not gonna go there. Anyway.
So yeah, this fucking list. Like, who are these fucking dumbass scientists that they hired to make this stupid ass list?
I think it's really interesting, but I do think they should have studied Alien Isolation if they didn't.
Yeah, and they should have done fucking Battletoads from the NES, fucking Ninja Gaiden from the NES. Those fucking games are hard and tense as shit.
They should have done me playing that Lord of the Rings game trying to defeat the Ghost King. Oh god. That was awful.
That was
hard.
That was a good 4 hours.
It was really hard.
We were playing that for a long time.
Yeah, we didn't get very far.
That was, I think, close to the end.
Was it?
I think there were a couple more things, and it was the end.
I remember moving rocks. Anyway.
Oh, God, the fucking rocks. Anyways, are you ready for your section?
I am.
And what is your section?
Book talk.
All right, it's time for book talk.
This week's book is another manga titled Goodnight Poon Poon, Volume 1 by Inio Asano. I'm very sorry if I butchered that pronunciation.
I say boom boom, let me hear you say well.
Well.
I say boom boom boom.
That has been stuck in our heads all week because I've been reading this book. Well, no, just for a couple days. I think I started it 2 days ago.
It's been like 3 days.
We both.
Of us doing
just
that stupid
randomly
shit.
Will burst into song. Oh,
Luna
God.
hates it so much.
She does. She hates us.
And last night I played the song and I haven't heard it since I was like 7 when it came out. And I did not remember how dirty that song was.
That's because we didn't understand those things back then.
So it's Boom 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 by the Out There Brothers. Or Out There Boys. Anyways, listen to it. It's dirty. It's old 90s good music. It's a boom boom. Tell me about that manga. Well.
So this one was also published by Viz Media, the same publishers that did Uzumaki. And it was published on March 15th, 2016. So it's kind of an oldie. So first I'll start by telling you a little bit about what this one is about, because it is kind of trippy, to say the least. So Volume 1 of the Goodnight Poon Poon series follows little Poon Poon, who is depicted as a little bird boy in a very human and fairly realistic world through early grade school right up until he starts middle school. It is a coming-of-age story at its finest. Poon Poon witnesses his parents' toxic relationship. He witnesses his father going to jail for destroying their apartment and beating his mother to the point where she's hospitalized for like weeks. He watches adult films with his friends in the appropriately dubbed PWC.
What's the PWC?
The Porn Watchers Club. He falls in love more than once, but one of them does really stick. He wonders about the existence of God, and he feels loneliness that no child should be made to feel. So, I was talking to Chris about this earlier this week because I was terribly confused as to why poor Poon Poon was drawn as a bird when everyone else was human. But then today, as I finished it, I really got to thinking about the fact that throughout the story, little Poon Poon struggles with finding his place in the world and trying to fit in, even when he's terrified of what it takes to fit in. And I think that's why he's a bird, to really, like, drive home how out of place this poor little guy feels. But like I said, some parts of this manga are really fucking weird and trippy. I think Chris would love it. I'm gonna have to make him sit down and read it.
I favorited it. Favorited it last night on my manga reader app so I could read it.
Do you know how many things I have favorited on Goodreads that have been favorited for years and years?
Yeah, but most of the manga that I have favorited is horny manga, and the rest of it is funny manga.
So it would be manga appropriate for the PWC.
Somewhat. But I mostly read the funny one because it's funny, because the horny one is kind of weird and rapey, and
we don't like
that at all.
No.
So Poon Poon is definitely going to get read as soon as I decide to lay down in bed and read manga.
It's really fun.
I'm sure it is.
Alright, so back to the weird and trippy. So, God, for instance, is summoned by Poon Poon doing this little chant that goes something like tinkle hoy, and God shows up. And let me tell you, he is very sarcastic and, like, borderline inappropriate. He's got a big ol' afro. He's unique. And he always smiles. He's got this big fake smile plastered on his face. But later on, we actually get to see one of Poon Poon's friends' interpretations of God. And it's a poop god. His head is literally a pile of shit.
It kind of sounds a little bit South Parky.
Yeah, I can see that. I never really watched South Park, but I can see this as like a more sophisticated South Park. But this child who has the poop god also, like, constantly has snot pouring out of his nose. So, yeah. Another super weird thing is the PWC starts watching an adult film together that they randomly found in the middle of the street, and it suddenly cuts to a lone man explaining that he murdered his parents and left their bodies in an abandoned miso factory, but that by the time they watch the video, he will probably have killed himself too. Oh, and he also says there's a ton of money with the bodies for whoever finds them and notifies the authorities of what happened. That part really fucks with little Poon Poon. Poor Poon Poon. This kid leads a really hard life for a 9 or 10-year-old.
Well.
Then I don't want to say my favorite part, but the part that really just got me, like, shaking my head the hardest was that poor Poon Poon has his first... Stop! He has his first cathartic experience after watching the adult film and thinking about his girl crush and the film. And when the catharsis happens, he thinks his brain has melted and poured out of his dick, which sparks another, like, baby bird panic attack, because he thinks he's losing his brain.
If only little Poon Poon knew that after that it just goes downhill and you're not very smart anymore.
You're gonna lose lots of brain.
Yep. You're not gonna be too smart no more, Poon Poon.
Poor guy.
I mean, you say, well.
So all of the trippy and weird things aside, Poon Poon's trials are very moving at the end of the day and gave me lots of food for thought and made me have all the feelings. There's this really beautiful panel near the end of the book that's, like, looking at Poon Poon and all of his friends from behind as they stare up into the stars, and I've got to admit that part made me a little bit teary.
Aww.
So as Chris said earlier, it is my birthday. I've been a little bit sad about getting closer to 30, which is next year. And I've been reminiscing my childhood and simpler times, and that panel just made me really fucking miss all of my friends. Yes, my best friend is sitting here recording this with me, and I have some of the best friends a girl could ask for living just down the road. But those friends I've had forever, the people I don't remember not being friends with, they really fucking made me miss them, and now I'm going to cry. It was so good.
She is really tearing up right now.
Oh, just made me think of the good old days.
You know what makes me think of the good old days?
What?
When you let me hear you say, well.
Oh my God, I'm gonna kill you. You make me crazy.
And you've decided to marry me. That's your problem.
Yeah.
Not mine. So what else do you want to say about Little Poon Poon? Let me hear you say, well. Well.
It's really fucking beautiful, even though it's really, really weird. It made me laugh. It made me scratch my head. But it's really good.
So now you believe your coworker that walked by you and said, is that Poon Poon? That's really good. And you're like, it's it.
I didn't react quite like that. I was just like, okay, cool. I'm not that far into it. But yeah, I believe him now. Like, I can't wait to read the rest of it because I looked it up on Goodreads, and apparently the whole series follows Poon Poon up to adulthood. So I'm excited to see.
When did I buy you Poon Poon?
I think you bought me Poon Poon last Christmas or for my birthday. I can't remember which one.
I think it was when we started dating, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
You think it was that many?
From Christmas when we started dating.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you have a lot of books that I've bought you that you've never touched.
That is like my New Year resolution, but I'm starting it now. That it is my mission to get through as many of the fucking books on my shelves as I can. Because I can guarantee you, I think I probably have more than 200 books on my shelves. And I've only read maybe like 25% of that.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe. That might be generous.
So when you're reading books, when you start the year, when you finish, do you make a list of all the books that you read and you finished in that year?
It's logged on Goodreads. Yeah.
Oh, because you use Goodreads.
Mm-hmm. I love tracking it on Goodreads. Because on Goodreads you can set your reading goal and it tracks your progress.
I don't think there's something like that for video games. Because at the start of the year, I know I beat like 4 games. And I think it was February. And I was like, maybe I should have made a list of all the games that I'm going to beat this year or that I beat this year. And I really wish I would have made that list because I've beaten a shit ton of games this year.
You should make a spreadsheet.
And I have no idea how many games or what games I've beaten this year already. It's a nightmare.
Make a spreadsheet on this here computer.
On this one that I'm recording on?
Mm-hmm.
So, what rating are you going to give to Poon Poon? Let me hear you say, well.
I gave it 4 stars.
Well.
I can't wait to finish the rest of the series. It was real good.
Maybe I can find that manga reader app on...
It'd be awesome if I could put it on the iPad and I could read it that way.
I'm pretty sure if I can find it again to download, I don't even know where the hell I got that manga reader from. Because it connects to Manga Park, Manga Fox, all these different free manga hosting websites, and downloads them straight to your phone. So it should work on iOS if I can.
iOS.
just leave me alone.
Because that is one thing. They're is it omnibuses?
Omnibus, yeah.
Yeah. So it's more expensive than your average manga because
but it has
you've
a
got
lot of the volumes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Volume
1 was like 3 parts, I think.
That
were originally published separately.
His whole childhood, right?
Yes.
Interesting.
His like grade school, like elementary to middle school. Yeah.
I see.
Mm-hmm. I think the next one is middle school to high school.
Okay. So, anything else you want to say about Poon Poon before we move on, Whale?
Go grab it, especially if you love a good coming-of-age story and don't mind trippy things.
All right. So, that was Poon Poon for 4 stars.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and move on to games and stuff. So for this week's game, we have Fire Emblem Awakening. This is one of those games in that series of me sitting on the toilet for 2 hours playing.
I need to, like, re-emphasize that this was at the beginning of our relationship, and maybe I should have taken that as a bigger red flag than what I did.
Well, too bad you're married now.
Although, I think it says a lot about how comfortable you were with me.
Did I disappear into the toilet for 2 hours?
Or that you just cared about video games more than me. I don't know.
I think you were sleeping.
No, I was not asleep.
What the hell? Where even were we, and what were you doing?
We were at your apartment. I was on the bed probably reading or watching TV or both, because that's what I normally do. Both at the same time. Because I'm a multitasker at my finest.
Mm-hmm.
And you were just on the toilet for hours and hours and hours.
Well, it's because Fire Emblem is a tactical role-playing game that was developed by Intelligent System and published by Nintendo. It was released on February 4th, 2013 for the Nintendo 3DS, and that's why it's such a good toilet game.
Oh, we both picked oldies.
Oh, cool. So, in Fire Emblem, you play as an unnamed amnesiac player-customized tactician.
A what?
Tactician.
What did you say before that?
An unnamed amnesiac player-customized tactician.
Define amnesiac.
Brain don't work no good. That was found in the middle of a field by a band of soldiers named the Shepherds that are led by the Prince of Elise named Chrom.
Sounds like Kronk.
It's Chrom, so it's like Chrome, but without the E, so it's
lame.
Crumb. So the graphics in this game are not amazing. The character models all look like half adult, half baby abominations. They have baby head-shaped heads with hair that most of the time looks like a wig, a pseudo-cylindrical body with scrawny arms and legs, and also, the legs have no feet.
What the hell?
So suffice to say, the character models are kinda ugly, but there are anime-style cutscenes in the game that look amazing. The character images are pretty well done for whenever they're talking, and they are very detailed. But other than that, the in-game models are hideous. They're so fucking ugly. The animations in the game are okay. The fighting animations, they move like you'd expect, but nothing outstanding. You have horse mounted knights, wyvern mountain knights, falcon mountain knights, pegasus mountain knights, and honestly, they're all kind of animated the same. The in-game cutscenes are pretty stiff too, with the character models just standing around and moving their arms when they're talking. But again, the anime-style cutscenes flow extremely well. They're extremely well done, and they have very expressive faces on those cutscenes, regardless of their baby head-shaped heads.
But I don't understand why you would put so much effort into a cutscene and not the game as a whole. So, like, budget or laziness or...
It's more like... There's a scene where they introduce one of the characters, right? And the scene where she is introduced, an earthquake happens and, like, the land is broken up. And she pops out of the portal in the sky and just starts killing motherfuckers. That, if you would have done that with the in-game engine, it would have looked like shit. So some of these cutscenes are actually... They serve their purpose, like to introduce story-specific characters or events that work better in a cutscene than an in-game engine.
I guess that makes sense.
Somewhat, but the sound design in the game is nothing to fawn over. While the voice acting in the game is pretty well done, some characters spout a few pieces of dialogue constantly during in-game cutscenes. It's annoying, but I just wish that what they said lined up with the text. So sometimes it'll say, "Don't worry about it, I'll take care of it," and underneath it says, "Don't stress."
This sounds terrible. It sounds so bad.
The music is very forgettable. I cannot remember what any piece of music from the game sounds like. I'm making this out to be one of the worst games I've ever played.
You really are.
But the game is a tactical RPG. So that means this game is one of those that can easily be compared to the chess, because there's a large grid with squares in which you can move your characters to in any direction. So as long as they have enough spaces to move, you can move them wherever you want to put them. And you can attack enemy units with the weapons that you have. And it kind of has a rock, paper, scissors system with their weapons. So swords beat axes, axes beat lances, lances beat swords. And then it starts growing and getting crazier when they add magic and bows and all that kind of crazy shit. So it doesn't stay that basic. It starts growing, it starts getting very difficult, and it starts getting depth. And what else has depth is the dating sim aspect of the game.
The game. It sounds like a game at
I've
this
been
point.
awake since 4 a.m.
This is true. Bless his heart.
So the dating sim aspect basically is whenever you're out in a fight, you can pair up your units during battle. This helps them build relationships that might end up in marriage and bearing a child.
Wait, what?
There's a cool way in which these children play into the game and the story, and it makes it well worth it to gain all the possible marriages in the game.
That sounds so weird.
Yeah, so I would explain more on who exactly these children are, but I think I will leave that for our Patreon episode on why I love Fire Emblem Awakening.
Dun dun dun!
As you use units, they gain experience points, which turn into levels. These then get to a point where, with a special item, you can change their classes. Like turn a cleric, who's a healer, into a warrior cleric, who is a healer with an axe.
What's a damn healer gonna do with an axe?
He is gonna heal their enemies from their mortality with that axe. This really opens up endless possibilities for party building. Because you can turn a lowly, weak farm boy into the most powerful unit in your army because you kept leveling him up, maxing him out, then changing his class, maxing him out again, and changing his class again to the lower one, and then maxing him out again and changing his class again. And you can do this to the point where you can do more than 150 points of damage to enemies. And the funny part is that most enemies have from 20 to 80 points of health. So you're killing them so bad that they owe you hell.
That's great.
My problems with the game basically is just how ugly the character models are. They are hideous. They are very fucking ugly. They all have the same shaped head. It looks like a baby's head with a wig, and it is creepy, and I hate it. I also hate how forgettable the music is. Basis for the game, this game is a complete experience. Like I said, it's ugly, it is forgettable, but the whole gameplay, the characters, the story, everything, it's great. It was Nintendo's final attempt to get Fire Emblem to sell in the United States, and it did. The charming characters, high-stakes story, and the new no permadeath easy mode made this a fan-favorite game, and it brought many people into the series. While it secured the future of the series in North America, this game also tells a story about relatable people who try to do the right thing no matter what the cost is.
I love that.
I love this game. This game, damn.
Even though it's terrible.
It has some very terrible elements, but it's still a good game. I've been somewhat playing this game since it released, on and off. But this is the first time I've actually sat down and finished it. It was well worth the 26 hours I put into it over the past 6 or 7 weeks, and I can now see why everyone who played this as their first Fire Emblem is obsessed with it. So I give this game 4.5 stars.
Very nice.
That is 2 Nintendo games in a row that I've done this month.
We gotta mix it up, honey.
Yeah, I gotta throw something else in there.
I gotta read something other than manga. I mean, I did, but I feel like I'm being repetitive.
Yeah. So, you know what time it is?
I know what time it is.
What time is it?
It's time for Gimme the Garbage.
All right, that is Gimme the Garbage.
This week's restaurant is one that we've reviewed before, but is notorious for bringing in limited time items. Taco Hell! I mean Taco Bell.
No, hell is right.
Is hell on your stomach?
We've done this joke before.
We have?
Yeah.
Oops.
It doesn't matter. Ew.
So right now, and I think for an extremely limited time, Taco Bell has their toasted cheddar chalupa. This is an item that they've had before, but I'm not sure how long it's been one of their revolving limited time items. I know I'd only had it once before now. When done right, it's actually pretty tasty. It's your regular chalupa shell, but deep fried in cheddar cheese, making it very crispy and super flavorful, and then filled with your regular chalupa toppings or items. Typically ground beef, unless you substitute with another meat. Lettuce,
shredded
tomato.
chicken, all the way, always.
They don't have shredded fucking chicken on the menu
fuck
anymore.
Taco Bell, then.
Fuck Taco Bell.
Oh,
they took everything off the fucking menu.
You know the problem is, once that Chihuahua died and he wasn't the president of Taco Bell anymore, that's when it went downhill. We need to put another fucking Chihuahua in
They
Taco
need to
Bell.
bring Choco Tacos back to fucking Taco Bell.
The fuck is a Choco Taco?
Gramps always bought me a Choco Taco.
What is a Choco Taco?
It is literally like an ice cream sandwich, but a taco. So it's a taco shell that's like coated in
like
chocolate.
the Klondike ones?
And it has ice cream in it. Yeah.
Ooh. Maybe we should buy some of those.
They used to sell them at Taco Bell.
I thought you didn't like chocolate.
I ate it with Gramps.
So it was Gramps'
I was
fault.
a child.
It was Gramps' fault.
They don't have potatoes anymore.
No?
Cheesy Fiesta potatoes were my life. My life.
You remember when I used to get them for breakfast and they used to put like eggs in them?
Yes, that was disgusting, but those potatoes were so good.
They weren't disgusting. They were amazing.
The mini skillet bowls.
Yes, that.
Yep,
Those
they don't have
were
that
really
anymore.
good. But this toasted cheddar chalupa thing, it's so good.
I mean, yours was good. Mine was good up until the last couple bites.
Mine was good until the last bite when I bit into it and everything fell out the ass.
So my last couple bites, realized that, I don't know what exactly happened, but it definitely tasted like the inside of my shell was raw dough. So that was lovely.
That's nasty.
Lovely.
But this whole, I don't know how the fuck they do it, but that crunchy cheddar side, you can get the smell of the cheddar every time you bite. That thing, it's mouth-watering.
It is very tasty.
So good. It's borderline garbage. Borderline.
If it's not raw dough.
Yeah.
But that $5 combo box includes a drink, taco, and cinnamon twists. But we're chunky, so we always want to order a little something more. So I ordered a cheese quesadilla with mine. Cheese quesadillas are my Taco Bell go-to, and I have perfected them by ordering them with extra cheese and extra creamy jalapeno sauce. A creamy jalapeno is to die for. It is like a pillow of cheesy, creamy happiness. But once again, only when it's done right. I've had a fucking quesadilla from Taco Bell that tasted like Clorox. I threw it away.
I remember when you told me about that.
I was pissed. I was pissed at that a particular Taco Bell and the employee who I dealt with more than anything. But that topped it off.
That wasn't the one that kept hitting on you, right?
No, that's the one who didn't give me a straw, insisted everything was in the bag, then wouldn't give Alan a straw to give to me, so I had to go back in and give him a piece of my mind. He offered me free cinnamon sticks. I was like, no, I'm good. I don't want your cinnamon. Taco Bell, I swear.
I don't want your cinnamon.
Like, there's like 1 out of 10 times that they don't piss me off.
Why do you keep going?
I don't know. I honestly feel like it all does go back to Gramps because he loved Taco Bell so much. And we were so excited when we were getting a Taco Bell in Sylvester, which is like the most revolting Taco Bell on this planet. It is the worst Taco Bell. But he loved it. And I loved going with him. I'm eating my memories.
Memories. All right, so before this gets too depressive, I had the grilled cheese burrito as my side item.
AKA a bundle of grease.
This thing is a fucking aberration. It is a beef stuffed burrito with seasoned rice, nacho cheese, sour cream, chipotle sauce, and red chip strips. Then
say that 2 times fast.
Red chip strips. Then it has a layer of hot grilled cheese on top of it.
Like to the point where they have to put it in a special wrapper because it's so fucking greasy.
This thing is fucking disgusting.
It is a garbage pit.
I want 4.
Once again, when done right, they're still very tasty.
Oh, it's so good when you get a nice cheese pull and the red chip strips are still crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, that is a perfect bite right there.
Drizzle some hot sauce on top.
No, fuck the hot sauce. It's
oh,
perfect
I love
as
my
it
hot
is.
sauce.
I hate Taco Bell, and I think this thing is amazing. What do you think we should rate this one particular Taco Bell trip?
It was meh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was between meh and okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. Now,
It wasn't bad, though.
Since we're at 43 minutes right now, do you just want to go ahead and review Moe's real quick?
Sure.
Fuck it, let's go to Moe's. Because we had Moe's for dinner tonight. And we thought it was going to be good for Gorbage.
I mean, they're very comparable places, so... Moe's and Taco Bell.
Are they?
I don't know. Okay, so let me start here. I used to be obsessed with Moe's. Every fucking Monday, we went to Moe's. We went to Moe's as a whole apartment when we were living with roommates. We all paid for it in the bathroom in the next 24 hours.
Not me, because I'm Puerto Rican.
The rest of us, particularly
the white ones,
Nate and I, paid for it on the toilet.
You white people.
Oh, God. So, yeah, every Monday. I mean, in their old app, I discovered today that they've restructured their app and they took away all of my points. I was, like, well on my way to being the highest tier in terms of points. I was really bummed when I saw that. But yeah, so they give you free burritos for your birthday. So it's like, hey, got a free burrito. Let's go to Moe's, eat on the cheap. I don't know if it's the location we went to or if they've just totally restructured the whole company. But their menu is completely different. They only have like 3 menu items now. They do have some build your own things, but they only have 3 items featured, really. And that's their homewrecker burrito, the homewrecker bowl, and the stack, which is like a crunch wrap.
You know what's funny?
What?
I used to love going to the Moe's on Millennia and looking at the names. And there was the Joey Bag of Donuts. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what that was. But every time I read it, I wanted to call it the Joey Sack of Shit.
I know they used to have, way back when, they had an ugly naked guy. from Friends. A lot of their stuff was from Friends back in the day. I don't know what's prompted these changes, and I'm not sure they're for the best, but whatever.
So, I had the burrito.
The homewrecker.
The homewrecker. And I got it with steak and chicken, the white part of the chicken, because now they ask you, do you want dark meat or white meat? And I said white meat.
I want you to bring back your good fucking seasoned chicken. That's what I want.
And I got it with the seasoned rice and no veggies, just cilantro and avocado.
Avocado.
Guacamole. I was trying to figure out the word. Guacamole and sour cream. And I don't remember what else because they took away the onions and everything. They don't have any onions anymore.
They didn't have any.
No.
Oh, I didn't notice
They didn't have onions.
that. What the hell, Mose?
One thing that I did like that they didn't do before is that after they put everything in the tortilla, the girl just started like massaging it around and mixing it all up together before she actually made the burrito. That was good because that way I didn't get just like 4 bites of straight sour cream. Now I got a bite of everything. Because I hate it when I was eating my fucking burrito. I would take a bite. I would only get sour cream or only guacamole or only rice or all the chicken and the steak would be together.
That's why I always got a bowl. Because
Now they massage it.
It's not fun.
It wasn't horrible, the burrito, but it was lacking.
So I was stupid and got the stack because I thought it was the closest thing to the quesadilla, which is what I wanted. I didn't realize that the quesadilla was on this like puny little build your own menu. Come on, guys, make your menu more user friendly, please. So I got the stack thing with chicken, queso, cilantro, and chipotle ranch and pico. Because the chipotle ranch was my favorite thing ever. And it made the quesadilla that I love to order like thebomb.com. Y'all, this was the most bland ass shit. It was not good. The chicken just tasted like nothing. It was not seasoned at all. I felt like, did you feel like yours was seasoned? You had so much shit in your burrito, you wouldn't have known.
Exactly. Though I did get a piece of chicken by itself, the texture was
fine.
good, but
it didn't taste like anything but texture.
Yeah.
And they obviously don't have their salsa bar right now because the Rona. But they also don't have all the fucking salsa that they would normally have on the bar. They only have Kaiser and Tomatillo. I fucking hate Kaiser. If you don't know, Moe's has 2 types of red salsa that are not super spicy. Kaiser and El Guapo. El Guapo is my favorite. It's very, very finely chopped veggies, whereas Kaiser is like huge chunks of everything. They don't have El Guapo. So we got Tomatillo. Oh my god, it tasted like a dumpster.
How do you know what a dumpster tastes like?
I can smell it. Therefore, I know what it tastes like. I can taste with my nose.
Sure thing, if you say so.
But the queso, tried and true, was still very good. That's the only thing I enjoyed, along with my drink. But Moe's can't take the credit. Coca-Cola can.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Technically Fanta, if we want to get really specific.
I have been telling you since we started dating what Moe's is.
It's trash!
It's garbage.
Garbage!
It's garbage. And you wouldn't believe me until now. And you know why you can taste that it's garbage now?
Because I've gone so long without it.
No, because you've had the glory
that is Taco Maker.
Exactly. There you go. Moe's is garbage.
But can I still go to Moe's and get a cup of queso and take it over to Taco Maker and eat it with my bowl?
With the chips from Taco Maker, because these fucking chips from Moe's give me the worst hiccups that nothing in the world does.
It doesn't make any sense, but it does do that to him. Like, he literally, as soon as we walked in the door, the hiccups started.
We sat down. I was trying to talk about the script and how the structure of the episode was going to be, and the fucking hiccups wouldn't leave me alone. I had to drink an entire bottle of water in one gulp so that they would stop. And now I am having problems breathing because I am so full with water that I have to get away from the microphone and breathe, because if not, all you would be hearing would be my breath on the microphone. I fucking hate Moe's.
After you just said that your burrito was decent.
It was decent.
But it wasn't worth it.
Yes.
It wasn't worth the agony.
Yes.
Of the hiccups and everything.
I wish I would have known how mediocre Moe's was for when my boss at the theme park accused me of stealing the flatbed to go get Moe's. Decided to tell motherfucker Moe's is so fucking average and disgusting that you would like it.
It was incredibly disappointing. At least the burrito was free.
Yeah, so we're giving a Mihawk to Taco Bell for the toasted cheddar chalupa.
Mm-hmm.
And our second garbage to Moe's.
I never thought I'd see the day where I said Moe's was garbage, but I don't want to go back.
We're not going back.
That's okay.
Not going back. All right, so let's get into some housekeeping. Like I said at the top of the episode, our Patreon winners are Vilma and Victor. Vilma gets Anxious People. Victor gets Tony Hawk. So we're going to be contacting you guys through Patreon. Either way, you know you guys personally, because pretty much the Patreon followers that we have are our friends. So if anything, I'll just message you directly and get your information so we can send these out to you. And we already have next month's game and book. We're doing Medieval and Ninth House. So for your chance to win them, go subscribe and support us on our Patreon. You'll find the link in the show notes.
And French listener, please don't forget to contact us. We want to know who you are. We want to be friends with you. We want to come visit you when Americans are allowed to leave America again.
You can go visit. I'm not going.
I'll come visit. We can go have baguettes together.
Also, we are very grateful and humbled by you people's support on our Patreon and your weekly downloads when you listen. So it means a lot to us.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Also, remember to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at anovelconsole. You can also find us on Facebook /anovelconsole. Facebook.com/anovelconsole. And don't forget, you can also tell your friends that they can find the podcast on most major podcast streaming apps. And they can also listen on YouTube by searching for A Novel Console. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And you should also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts so that more people can find us. We can grow this community.
We would greatly appreciate it.
You can also email us at anovelconsole@gmail.com. French listener, please.
Yes.
And we will read your email on the show.
Watch it not be a French-speaking person and just someone who lives in France.
That would be fine. Hey, if you don't want us to read the podcast on the air, we won't. Just get in contact with us. We'd be happy with just that. With just that. I am tired. I still have to edit this so we can get it out tomorrow. And our art was done by Metamorphic on Instagram. Go give her a follow. Buy some stuff from her. She's really good at her stuff. And that's it for this episode. You got anything else you want to say, Karen?
No.
Okay. So goodbye, Karen.
Goodbye, Karen.
Goodbye, everyone.